corner in that picture.
Aha. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Thank you, Maureen. Can I have a roll call attendance, please?
Trustee Lizikas, Trustee Porter, Trustee Kimmelhurt, Trustee Rosati, Trustee Cameron,
Here.
Trustee Shear, Mayor Mercurio, 6 present, 1 absent.
All those in favor? Opposed? Can I get a motion to approve the reading of abstract voucher numbers 209? By Paul, second, Barry, further discussion?
I can't hear what he said.
There's Angela, correction, or
It says April 2020 instead of 2021.
11.
So, did you find it, or do you need more detail?
I'll check when I get back to the office.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
It is my pleasure to thank the DPW for National Public Works Week. And Matt, for everything you and all your guys have done, right down to setting up this fire hall and putting up the banners for the high school kids to make it special for this year. We appreciate everything you and your team does. You guys work hard day and night. Hope everybody realizes you guys are always ready to go. Brush removal, snow plowing, the works. So thanks for everything you've done. With that, I have a proclamation for you and your team. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the village of East Aurora. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated effort of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the village of East Aurora to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2021 marks the 61st annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, be it now resolved, I, Mayor Peter M. Mercurio, do hereby designate the week May 16 to May 22, 2021 as Public Works Week in the village, following the national model. And I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. Thank you, Matt. All right, I'll start by addressing that. Thank you, Annie. Hi, how are you? Nice. Hi,
Hey,
Dustin.
Pete.
Nice to see you.
Can you restate the comment because Kristen can't hear it?
Okay.
Unless you're talking into the mic. Sheila.
Absolutely. East Aurora Little Loop representatives are here, and they're looking at the Hamlin Park plan, and they're wondering why it is going out of order. And they're wondering if they will have some input going forward as far as the plan as it was laid out. So that plan was put together a number of years ago with the help of some engineers. We did a survey that had over 1,000 responses from local community members. I was on the committee at the time, the Parks Committee, and we brought in all the stakeholders, the Aurora players, East Aurora, Little Loop. We brought in the lacrosse folks from the high school, baseball folks. We had the Aurora Parks and Recs Department played a big role as well as in trying to decide how it's going to go out. And then the engineers kind of drew up the plan, and that's how they submitted it, right? So we're not obligated to stick exactly to that plan, all right? And we are looking to make some improvements while we can. We have some big infrastructure projects now, right? Oakwood was one, the culvert is another one, but we can't keep kicking Hamlin Park improvements down the road. It needs a lot of TLC, as you know. And so we're trying to do some things a la carte out of the plan to make some improvements, some of the low hanging fruit, not too expensive, something we can get done on a relatively quick timeline, especially with COVID and people spending a lot more time outside and enjoying the park. We wanted to get some things going to get some improvements done. Thank you. I know that when we started, Matt Hay from the DPW and I were looking at the track, exactly the footprint of where it was going to go with the paving individuals, and our engineer, who was not part of that, he's our new engineer. I did reach out to, I think, Sean Lennon, and I said, hey, can you guys get down and mark the field just to make sure that we're giving you enough space for what you need to do? Part of what that engineer from the old engineering company, CPL, had drawn up was a football field, and then after a couple of years, as it gets torn up, pivot it. So half of it would be on new grass and half of it would be the same half. And he envisioned the stand, the announcer's booth being moved to the corner so they could call it whichever, any particular year, wherever the field is, they could call the games. We're kind of looking at it, wondering if we really need that. Do we need half of the field to rest and the other half to still get torn up? Is that really going to serve the purposes we need? Because then now we have to move the whole booth and everything. So if we leave the field where it is, we could leave the booth where it is, but we haven't made that decision yet. But as far as the track goes, we put it around the outside perimeter as was written in that plan, so people could use it this summer. So from what I recall, there was no plan to get rid of the football bathrooms. Those will still be there, and hopefully we'll get some improvements on those at some point as well as with your locking mechanisms and on your doors, that kind of thing for security. But the bathroom plan involved taking the other bathroom, which is farther up closer to Prospect, and demolishing that, redoing a rec building with a new bathroom at the end of it facing the kids' playground, so that parents who are there with their kids can send one kid into the bathroom without having to walk them all the way around the park and bring all the other kids with them. They could just see them go in and see them come out, and we would have a new bathroom at the end of the building. But that building itself was over $1 million. So rather than try to reallocate resources to try and hurry up and get that done now, we thought, hey, we can do the track, we can do some other smaller things. That still is in the plan, but we had no intention of removing the current bathroom. Sure. And you know what, just so you know, Annie, we have a Friends of Hamlin Park, a group came who lives around the park, and they said, hey, there used to be a Friends of Hamlin Park group. Can we start that back up? We want to be members. And so we are going to be meeting next week. And any stakeholder in around that park or who uses that park who wants to be part of it is more than welcome. So that's the kind of thing that you folks might want to come to, so you can be there for the conversations right from the start. If you leave your contact information with Kathy Thomas, the village administrator, I'll make sure you're on the invite list that we're sending around. Matt Hay, Department of Public Works, Chief. What are your thoughts on the bleachers and the safety? I'm glad you brought this to our attention because I did not know.
Start talking to it.
We had put money in the budget last year to replace the benches of the bleachers for football, and it got put off. For appropriate time. But it didn't make the final. I put in $1,000 to replace it. The ones that I were gonna replace with had the railing around the upper portions of it, to stop people falling off the back.
And then my money is this. Now I'll take a look at it and see if it's something. Or want to come and help out with it, that's great. That's fun. All right, we're gonna move on to consideration. For a, can I get a motion to consider referring to planning?
Hey, Pete, in order to have Kristen here, you're gonna have to talk into the mic. For Kristen to hear, you have to talk into the mic.
Can I get a motion to consider referring to the planning commission special use permit application 53 South Grove for applicant Douglas Wolf, proposing to convert a 2-story structure into a 1-bedroom apartment? Moved by Steve, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider referring to the planning commission the special use permit application for 363 Prospect Ave for applicant Douglas Wolf, proposing for the subdivision of 363 Prospect into 3 parcels? Moved by Steve, second. Second by Paul. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on June 7th for 636 East Fillmore for applicant Urban Falls LLC proposing to develop 4 townhouse units. Moved by Steve, second by Paul. Further discussion. So this is the property owner that was looking to originally put a restaurant and some retail in there, and now they're changing their plan, it appears, to 4 townhouses. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing for a local law to revert the zoning of 636 East Fillmore to LCR, limited commercial residential from VC, Village Center. Moved by Tony, second by Steve. Further discussion?
Pete, do we have a date for that public hearing?
Opposed? Approved.
What date are you using? June 7th?
What?
Kristen asked about the date.
Okay.
The date? Kristen asked about the date.
Schedule for number 4. Oh, it isn't listed in there.
I have it as June 7th on the lined copy with question mark.
All right, so Tony and Steve, June 7th is the date. You okay with that? You amending your motion? All those in favor with the amended date of June 7th?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider authorizing the mayor to sign the MS4 agreement? Moved by Steve, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We should have all our meetings in here.
It's fabulous.
Can I get a motion to consider authorizing the mayor to sign the contract with Mark Cerrone Incorporated for the Tannery Brook Culvert Replacement Project? Moved by Steve, second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with GHD for construction management and inspection services? Moved by Steve, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion?
So people will remember, the assumption is that we're not going to have to pay for an extra project manager on this contract like we did with Oakland. So part of the payment going with the construction company and GHD is to pick up that project.
They have an inspector included in this, correct? You want to talk to them?
So we didn't expect to hire that extra person. We thought we might not do that even on the project, and then we did realize it was certainly needed. We do not expect to have to hire anyone additional outside of this specific contract. We do expect that this engineering firm providing these services and having done everything up to, bid plans, inspection, everything, that they will very expertly handle anything and everything that comes up. We've talked with them, Matt, about, I think they even had a hotline set up for one of the projects. We're going to have to do that for this one. We've had many meetings about this, and every time I know the mayor likes to use the term over communications, and I mentioned that this morning with everyone. So we do expect to put everything out there as much as we possibly can, to as many people as we can. So we do not expect that we will need yet another person just working for us as a consultant in the way that we did in Oakland. Yes, if you read the specific proposal, it is inspection and what's the term on the agenda? Inspection and construction management. If they will be providing all of those services for the project, and working along with myself and Matt and everything that goes on. We get discussed a little bit. We had a pre-construction meeting this morning, so that started the process. We're talking about these things. The answer is yes. We will have this as part of our new website. Actually, I was thinking of part of the new website, which should be launched in the fairly near future. I think we said that a couple times, maybe, but we are diligently working on that. We will be putting a general, do you want email alerts from the village? But I was also thinking that maybe we would do a supplemental one, although probably by the time we launch the site, by the time the end of the project, with good luck and hope, we might even miss that opportunity. But of a separate one, just if people just wanted to sign up for information on the culvert project. I do already have a comprehensive list of all of the business owners' contact information, telephone, where I can also do text to cell phone and emails. And I do have a very long comprehensive spreadsheet people are going to fill out with all that information to come here tonight. And then we can also put something else on our current website saying, if you would like to get information just about this project, send us an email and we will do it. So all of those things are part of our plan for the new project.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, any other discussion on 4G? Moved by Steve, seconded by Tony. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider amending the 2021-22 salary schedule to allow for 3 positions under accident investigators in the police department, which is included in the 2021-2022 budget figures? Steve's asking for a little more explanation on that.
We had a lieutenant that's retiring next month, who was one of our 2 accident classes up. 2 more officers to get trained in accident investigation. There's a $500 stipend per year. 500. And
It's already in the budget. It just was a typo on the last page.
it's already in the budget. It was just some adding or paperwork, but it wasn't.
Just in case I'm audited, but it was already in the proposal. Just that last page needs to be changed.
All right, moved by Steve, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider to authorize the mayor to sign the mail machine lease and service contract with Lineage and Quadient? Quadient?
I say quadrant, but I don't know if that's.
Quadient, there's no R in there, not quadrient, quadient.
Quadrant, I don't know. No, it's a renewal. It's who we have now. It's actually cheaper than what we have now. It's less per month. Not by a lot, like $8 a month. Same service, upgraded machine. They're still gonna repair it, come in and fix it as needed. So, but we send out a lot of mail. I mean, all of our water billing is done with that, our taxes, we need it.
All right, any other discussion? Oh, can I get a motion? Moved by Tony, second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider approving a temporary use permit for the Greater East Aurora Chamber of Commerce to conduct their annual sidewalk sale? Steve? Moved by Steve, second?
Pete, are you making that contingent on
Yeah,
anything?
second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion. So Steve, I know with the Arts in the Alley project that we voted on last month, you had the good idea of suggesting that we approve it conditional on approval by Erie County. We haven't received the approval from Erie County from the chamber yet. Do you want to add that to your motion? Maureen, I believe you suggested that is also a good idea.
Consistent, and since you required it with the others, you should require it with this one. The other one, I got an email that said, you're within the guidelines, keep going. So if it's that simple, they should be able to supply me with that.
So Steve's adding that to the motion. Ernie, are you amending your second as well? All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to consider authorizing the mayor to sign the contract renewal with Municipal Solutions for financial services? If Kristen makes a motion, let me know, will you? It's hard for me to hear with the background. Anybody making that motion?
Municipal Solutions does all the stuff for our bonds and bans. So they make a recommendation when we need to renew them. They fill out everything on our MS system. They send all the reminders to pay them.
And how long have we been using them for
A very long time,
this?
before I got here. It's an annual thing, yeah. Same as last year, same as the year before. They have not gone up in the 3 years I've been here. It's a variable depending on what they're doing and who's doing the work. So it's kind of like engineering where depending on who's doing the work, depends on how much it costs. Nope, it's pay as you go. There is one slot for doing one service that's a standard fee, but beyond that, it's a pay as you go. I thought it said July for the actual renewal date. I'd have to pop it up, but the letter was before the renewal was due. The renewal, I believe, is next month.
All right, does anyone want to make the motion? Moved by Tony, second. Steve, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
June 29th is that date. June 29th is the renewal date. And the what? Oh, yeah, typo.
All right. Can I get a motion to consider approving the budget adjustments for the 2020-2021 fiscal year? Moved by Ernie, second. Steve, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. All right. Nothing on new business. Moving on to our second speakers of communications. Anybody have anything to comment on? Moving on to department head reports. Shane Krieger, please, chief.
Just a couple of things. We're in the process of canvassing a candidate for a police position. I'll probably be bringing you a recommendation to hire in June. Kind of big shuttle is hiring 28 months, so he'll be shortly missed. Ready for retirement. Hiring in order right after that. I met with you know, that's going to go also.
Very good. Thank you, Shane. Matt Hay, DPW chief. A lot of irons in the fire. Thank you, Matt. Liz Cassidy? Nothing for code enforcement tonight. All right, Kathy Thomas? Okay, Maureen?
Taxes are the biggest thing. June 1st, taxes go out and the collection will be till the end of the month.
Thank you, Maureen. All right, Steve? Tony? call, Tony. Thank you. Ernie. Paul.
Okay, so Paul is concerned about basically our meeting tonight and any future times when we would consider meeting outside of the regular municipal building boardroom upstairs, Village Hall, because he's having a hard time following the hearing tonight, and he's concerned about the bigger thing out of our regular meeting place. Is that correct?
Thank you. Kristen?
All set. Looking forward to seeing you guys in June.
Can you hear it?
Kristen said she's all set, looking forward to seeing us in June. We are too. I would just put out there that, like Tony reminded us, the school board vote is tomorrow at the middle school, I believe. So encourage everybody to get out and do their part and vote. Congrats to the high school grads. We're trying to make it as special as we can for them. Hopefully we're gonna have some blue and white flowers in the flower boxes. We got yard signs, and now the DPW and the PTO are putting up banners with the kids' faces and names on Main Street, which I know was a big hit last year as well. So they are facing a lot of challenges, but this generation is really learning to be very agile and able to adapt. And I think that'll help them throughout their life. So a lot of credit to those kids and the school and the teachers and everybody who's had to put up with all this together. I'd remind everybody, get your vaccine if you haven't already. I think we kind of got COVID in a good place right now, so let's just keep the pressure on it and not get stuck. With that, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss a legal matter. Moved by Steve, second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are going into executive session. We don't expect to vote for anything.
Maureen, can you unmute?
All those in favor? Opposed? All right, we are out of executive session, but our meeting is not over yet. We have somebody who did want to speak at the public session earlier about a different issue unrelated to the culvert. So if you have a spokesman who'd like to come up, now is your chance to speak your piece before we move on to other issues.
Hello, Village Board, and everybody. My name is Tracy Gavin, and this is Eric, and we represent the pickleball community in East Aurora. And I think what we just wanted to do was to make sure that before you guys, I know you've thought about pickleball court, that we really want to be involved in that with you to make sure that, not that they're done, but that they're done according to the standard of pickleball. I know Eric plays out in Hamburg. Hamburg has some really great pickleball courts out there, utilized by that very effectively. You can tell you what the courts.
Yeah, the courts that were put in Hamburg, I think they're 2 years old. They put 4 dedicated pickleball courts in one enclosure. That came in at a cost of about $76,000 from scratch for brand new courts, permanent nets, and fencing around them. I'm not sure. You could ask Mayor Moses, yes. He was one who spearheaded the effort for us, and I did bring some, I brought some pictures of those courts to show you the type of talking about. Absolutely. That would be ideal. Yes. And we realize, that may not be the plan.
The tennis players are not going to want to play with the pickleball. There's too many, I mean, you'll hear the complaints from tennis players that there's too many lines on the courts. If you're going to do a multi-use, what works the best for multi-use is by taking tennis courts, leaving that net and putting pickleball courts on that court. And I hope I'm making sense to you. So on one tennis court.
That would be if we provided the nets. So, and we can do that.
We are used to doing that. You could. Yep.
And it's 4 year sufficient. Because there's more on Warren.
There's two on Warren, and those are getting utilized on all the time. I mean, it's not just our group that's playing now. Pickleball is the largest growing sport in the United States, not only the United States, but it's huge. We have about 6.
Oh, yes.
Servers.
Yeah, oh, we covered it.
Yep. Or the best way to do it, though, is put your 2 tennis courts in, and then we get 8 courts.
What we don't want to have is when the county gets their cards. But they put the pickleball courts here.
They're unusable.
Well, it is a different.
It's easy for us to. That's not. Yeah. But I think it's just something that we wanted to make sure that we were on board with you guys and what you thought. And I'll also just share a short story. My sister-in-law, Elena, who's here tonight, she recently just posted on Facebook to get some volleyball playing on the sports event. And I mean, she had such an immediate response that, just pick up volleyball. I think people want to keep them apart. I know. But I mean, it's a jewel in our community, this Hamlin Park. Let's get it fixed and used, especially after COVID. Yeah, and we're happy, believe me, we're happy to provide it.
Hey, Pete, you can't hear anything.
All right. Thank you, guys. Again, please give your contact info to Kathy Thomas right there. All right. All right. Thank you for your participation. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn the village board meeting? Motion to adjourn, moved by Tony, second. Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. The meeting is adjourned. We will start our culvert informational session in 5.